Have you ever wondered what happens when girls are born into wealth and grow up without grasping the concept that their actions have consequences? Here are 3 instances where rich girls believed they were exempt from the law. Let's start with this girl who thought that being the cop's girlfriend could help her avoid arrest. At approximately 12:20 a.m. on April 15, 2022, Officer David Went from the Westfield Police Department responded to a disabled vehicle at the intersection of Raymond Street and Mountain Avenue. Upon approaching the 2018 Nissan Rogue, the situation was somewhat chaotic. Initially, the driver denied involvement, stating she lived nearby.
Hello.
That's not going to work because I live here.
Was one of you...
I live here.
No, and I live there.
Were you driving?
Yes.
Okay.
However, she eventually confessed to driving and colliding with a pole.
What did you hit?
I think she hit.
I hit that pole.
Officer Went observed that the airbag had deployed, and the passenger's side rim and tire were severely damaged from hitting nearby rocks.
No, but obviously, never been in the accident, and they hit me, so like, never going to look. My mom is calling. Thank you guys.
I'm gonna have to get it towed. I'm gonna call for a tow.
Officers Nicola Bagan, Samuel Four, and Sergeant Gregory Penn arrived shortly afterward to provide assistance.
This is the sign. This is where the sign was right there. So it looks like she went here. Based on the damage, she hit those rocks, not the pole.
The driver, 31-year-old Yanel Barrientos,
We had a couple drinks at
informed Officer Went that she had difficulty navigating the right turn from Mountain Avenue to Raymond Street.
and I was on my way home and I didn't see the sign. That's the honest truth. You could look at my history. I don't have parking tickets. I don't have problems with like hitting anything. I honestly didn't see the sign and I hit it.
She also admitted to having consumed 3 drinks at a restaurant earlier that night before heading home.
Where were you at? Do you know what town?
Yeah, New Providence.
New Providence? And it was a restaurant?
Yeah, it was. I've never been there because I just started working for my employees like 3 months ago, I want to say, but I worked for...
And then where were you headed right now?
I was heading home.
The Westfield Fire Department arrived on scene to assess Yanel, who declined medical attention.
What are you trying to get?
My wallet, so I can show you my license. Is that okay?
I know.
However, Officer Went, sensing potential impairment, offered Yanel the chance to perform field sobriety tests, supported by Sergeant Penn and Officer Bagan.
All right, we're just gonna do some vitals on you real quick, just to make sure everything's okay. And
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I did drink tonight, but I am not drunk. You can do every sobriety test you want to do on me. I'm not the kind to drink and drive, so you can do whatever you want. I'm not worried about that.
Initially, Yanel struggled with the alphabet recitation exercise, starting from C instead of D.
If you could just say it from D to W, don't sing it, just say the letters from D.
D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z.
And then if you could just come over here, we're just gonna go by the light right here.
Moving to the horizontal gaze nystagmus test, both Officer Went and Officer Four observed signs of impairment. Her eyes lacked smooth pursuit, showed sustained nystagmus at maximum deviation, and displayed nystagmus onset before reaching 45 degrees. During the one-leg stand test, she struggled to balance properly, swaying and putting her foot down repeatedly. The walk and turn test proved challenging as Yanel failed to maintain heel-to-toe steps, keep her arms steady, or follow the yellow lines correctly.
Just ignore it.
I'm just extremely nervous because this isn't me.
Yep, just calm down, like I said. Just get through these tests.
Okay.
So you can actually put.
Through this.
Yep, you can actually put your feet on the line.
Right foot up.
Right foot. You can actually use this line. So if you want to stand directly on this yellow line.
And you're gonna see that I'm not in touch.
Consequently, based on the disabled vehicle, inconsistencies in her statements, and her performance on the sobriety tests, Officer Wendt informed Yanel of her arrest for driving under the influence.
You have to. You're being placed under arrest. If
Why?
you don't put your
I'm not a
hands,
bad
look,
person,
you're not a bad
guys.
person. Listen, if you don't
Please,
put
guys,
your,
I beg
listen,
you.
if you don't put your hands behind your back, you're going to be charged additionally. I don't want you to get charged.
Scared.
This is
I've
traffic.
Never been
This is traffic. Okay?
Please,
Just
guys,
put your hands
why
behind.
I followed
Listen,
every
I know.
line.
After a brief struggle, Sergeant Penn managed to handcuff her, and Officer Wendt escorted her to the patrol car.
Just give me your other hand. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Listen,
It's
we're just
okay.
going to our headquarters. We just have some paperwork to fill out.
When did I go
Give me
through
your other hand.
this?
It's okay.
I don't want
be
to
okay.
go
It's okay.
Please,
guys-
God.
It's okay.
I don't want to get arrested. I'm not this kind of girl, guys.
It's okay. It's okay.
Officer 4 remained on scene until the vehicle was towed as required by law. Yanel was then taken to Westfield Police Headquarters by Officer Wendt, where Lieutenant Nicole Stivel conducted a search.
Can you just take your watch off for me?
It's just my Fitbit. It's just my
Yep, I know. We're just going to keep all your property right over there, okay? So you get it all back when we're all done.
I feel uncomfortable.
We just got some paperwork we got to process.
I don't.
Do you have anything in your pockets or anything?
No,
Okay.
you can check me.
Yep, we're going to have someone else check you, okay?
Officer Bagan administered the standard statement for motor vehicle operators, and Yanel consented to provide breath samples.
Okay?
Yeah.
I won't be able to become a pilot. Let's go to
Her Alcotis results revealed a BAC of 0.14%, exceeding the legal limit of 0.08%. In Massachusetts, DUI penalties are outlined in Chapter 90, Section 24 of the Massachusetts General Laws, MGL. If a driver's blood alcohol concentration, BAC, is 0.14%, the penalties for a DUI conviction can vary. For a first offense, the potential penalties include a fine of up to $5,000, a license suspension of up to 1 year, and a possible jail term of up to 2.5 years, though less likely for a first offense. Participation in a mandatory alcohol education program is also required. During processing, Yanel admitted to consuming alcohol at the Stagehouse Tavern earlier that evening.
I won't be able to become a pilot. Let's go to please.
We're going to take one step at a time, okay?
Calhoun 106.
That's really important.
106.
Once processed, she was released to a responsible individual after they signed the potential liability warning form on her behalf. Officer Wendt issued Yanel summonses for operating under the influence, reckless driving, and careless driving. Court records show that on July 28, 2022, Yanel was convicted of operating under the influence, fined $790, and had her license suspended for 3 months. She also had to complete 12 hours at an intoxicated driver resource center, with the other 2 citations dismissed under a plea agreement.
Honestly, I've never been in trouble in my life.
You know what?
I'm not that kind of person. I'm scared to be like my mom. Think I'm a low life. I just moved out of my house. I just got my apartment.
Listen.
Sorry.
It seems that being a cop's fiancé could not help her avoid the consequences. However, this is not an isolated case where entitlement clashes with the law. Just wait until you hear about this next incident where a rich girl loses it and screams for her dad during her arrest. On February 21, 2022, deputies stopped a Tesla following a report of reckless driving. Upon arrival, officers encountered a tense situation with the Tesla driver on North Bahama Drive. Despite commands to stop and turn off the vehicle, the driver initially resisted, prompting officers to instruct her to keep her hands visible and stay inside.
Hey! Hey! 511 Tesla just took off.
Despite instructions, she exited the vehicle, leading to further verbal exchanges and ultimately officers having to escalate their commands.
Hold it! Stay in the f***ing vehicle! 511, she's getting out.
What is all this?
Come here! Come here!
Despite repeated commands from officers to exit the vehicle, the driver adamantly resisted and made a frantic attempt to evade capture, sparking a dangerous pursuit.
511, she's refusing to comply. Hey! Get out of the vehicle!
You got me up, bro. I own this.
Actively resisting. Get out of the Get out of the vehicle!
Racing through streets, she made evasive maneuvers, but law enforcement managed to intercept her again after a brief chase.
5111, I'm in pursuit again.
Upon being confronted and apprehended, her demeanor turned confrontational and she vocally opposed the arrest, even invoking her father's name and asserting a sense of entitlement over the situation.
They're arresting
Stop
me.
resisting!
Hell, dude. What are you doing?
Don't resist.
What are you doing, dude? You didn't even know me. God, they're arresting me.
Stop resisting!
This only heightened tensions on the scene, as officers faced significant challenges in physically restraining her due to her continued resistance.
What am I doing? Why are you doing this?
One detained.
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
They urgently called for her cooperation and eventually required additional backup to gain control of the escalating situation.
We were right here. I go up to try to walk up to her. She sees me. She takes off. I throw on my lights. Starts speeding like 60 miles an hour through the neighborhood. Then she took off again.
The interaction escalated as this young girl continued to assert her father's authority, claiming ownership and attempting to negotiate her way out of the situation.
Out
Can
here.
I call my father?
No.
He owns the island.
5111, you can
Okay.
release the air.
Call my father.
Despite officers' refusal to contact her father, she persisted in asserting her age and status, refusing to comply with instructions to stay put.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Okay, 24. We don't need to call your dad.
Yeah, you're right. And you're not going to take me in either.
Her statements about her speeding and the potential consequences underscored the seriousness of her actions.
I made the speed report just to let you know. I did 86 getting here.
Officers remained firm in their handling of the situation, emphasizing her accountability for reckless behavior and the need for her to cooperate.
You could have killed someone.
Yes, you.
Yeah, I could have killed you too, but you're alive, right?
Okay.
During the interaction, tensions remained high as officers attempted to assert control over the situation. The driver continued to resist, insisting on calling her father and asserting her innocence despite the evidence against her. Officers attempted to conduct a pat-down search, but she adamantly refused, claiming privilege due to her father's ownership of the property.
I'm shocked because this never happened.
Okay. Well.
Please call my dad.
No. Listen.
No, I need my dad here before you do anything to me.
No, that's not how this works. You're 24 years old. Turn around.
I don't care.
That was an adrenaline rush.
I didn't do anything wrong and I need my dad here.
Her erratic behavior, including attempts to evade arrest and avoid sobriety tests, further complicated the officers' efforts. According to Florida statutes, Chapter 316, Section 1935, Fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer occurs when a driver fails to stop their vehicle as directed by an officer, willfully flees, attempts to flee, or eludes the officer. Penalties vary depending on the circumstances and typically include fines, imprisonment, and license suspension. For instance, fleeing or attempting to elude an officer with lights and sirens activated is classified as a third-degree felony, carrying potential penalties of fines, imprisonment up to 5 years, and other sanctions. Additionally, under Section 316.192, Florida statutes, reckless driving is defined as operating any vehicle with a willful or wanton disregard for the safety of persons or property. Penalties for reckless driving can involve fines up to $500 and/or imprisonment for up to 90 days for a first offense. Subsequent offenses or aggravating factors may lead to higher fines and longer periods of incarceration. Later, when her dad arrived, she likely hoped his presence would help resolve the situation in her favor.
No, I need to talk to my dad.
Okay, and he's coming
You
over here.
already yeah.
However, things took an unexpected and dramatic turn. The interaction intensified as her father arrived on the scene.
But why are they?
Copy 7275 line.
You've been drinking, and you were speeding.
Despite her pleas and attempts to involve him, officers remained resolute in their actions.
Palm tree and almost hit both pedestrians.
Okay.
I don't know. They threw me out of the car, Dad.
She continued to resist arrest and argued vehemently, even as her father tried to intervene. Officers emphasized the gravity of her reckless actions and the potential danger she posed to others. The young girl, visibly upset and confused, questioned her arrest while her father tried to calm her and grasp the seriousness of the charges.
Calm down. She went to the floor.
Officers detailed accusations of speeding and reckless driving, emphasizing the risks she posed. Despite her protests and denials, officers stood firm, sparking a heated exchange as they prepared to take her in for processing.
Why? What did I do?
You got
Why?
every bit of it. You do refuse.
Dad, come here.
Bloodworth faced charges, including resisting arrest, fleeing from police, DUI, and reckless driving. Court records indicated she was detained at the Monroe County Detention Facility in Key West and expressed intentions to participate in a substance abuse rehabilitation program during her incarceration. 3 separate bonds, totaling $110,000, were set for the charges against her. Despite being on probation, she managed to depart the country for a planned holiday aboard a Royal Caribbean cruise. It's a relief that her father didn't shield her from the consequences of her actions. But there's an even more surprising case: a wannabe gangster who tried to evade arrest by claiming her dad is a cop. On February 7th, 2023, authorities were called to respond to a report of a heavily intoxicated woman standing beside her vehicle. When officers arrived at the scene, they encountered a highly agitated woman named Ashley, who insisted she hadn't been driving.
My name is Ashley. My left foot is broken. I cannot drive. I cannot move.
Starting a statement with "my dad's a cop" often implies an attempt to leverage influence or authority to avoid consequences.
Oh, my dad, my mom, oh my God.
This is your car?
Yes.
Where's the guy that
my
left?
dad is a cop. You can call my dad and my dad.
Where's the guy that left that was with you?
Such behavior can be seen as trying to manipulate the situation unfairly, which can lead to stronger repercussions to ensure fairness and justice prevail. She claimed her foot was injured and repeatedly mentioned someone else had been driving her car before leaving the scene.
No, not my car.
So who was driving?
He was driving my car, then he stopped here, and then he just walked away from my car. The moment that man walked into my car.
Despite her protests and attempts to explain, officers focused on ensuring she and her child could get home safely, requesting contact information for someone who could pick them up.
Let's see. Who's the car registered to?
Me. It isn't my name. I'm not trying to hit my fist trying to get out.
We'll see who she is, Mercy.
The next interaction involved the officers trying to help the intoxicated woman find someone to pick her and her child up safely.
Put your hands up.
What's going on?
You can continue talking to him. I just
I'm
got
talking.
here.
She's going
Back up, please.
Oh, I'll back up.
You smell like alcohol and I don't like the smell.
I wasn't driving.
You ain't getting.
I wasn't driving. He's my witness.
Okay.
I never was driving.
Listen to me. Stop talking for a second. Stop. Do you have a phone number?
Initially resistant and argumentative, she eventually cooperated to call her mom for assistance.
This guy has, but he does have a warrant. That's why he took off. He does. Yeah. That's why she don't remember me first. Oh, she knows.
The officers, realizing there was a child in the car, prioritized their safety and ensured they could get home without further incident. This woman became increasingly agitated and belligerent, making threats and behaving erratically.
Him. You with me right now?
I understand, but he just spoke to me.
Please put the number in the phone so we can get you and your daughter home.
Okay, here's her car keys.
Yeah, she ain't getting these back. So,
Despite attempts to calm her down, she continued to escalate, punching windows and making aggressive remarks towards the officers. Eventually, she was arrested after a confrontation where she refused to comply with orders and resisted arrest. She hadn't shown much concern for her baby until the handcuffs clicked shut.
Yeah, she ain't got nothing to say to me. Nope. I just got a hold of her daddy.
Throughout her tense and emotional state, she persisted in demanding medical attention for her broken foot and stressed her readiness to cooperate despite her outbursts.
Because they dumb as right? I already know.
Eventually, she reluctantly followed the officer's orders to sit tight and wait for her cop father to show up. As her father arrived, she went full-on drama and demanded her dad to talk to the police there to get her out of this situation.
She's punching the window now.
She continued to insist she didn't care about going to jail, repeatedly emphasizing her innocence and concern for her daughter.
We're trying to be
I'm
patient.
driving. Out here can respond. I never drove over here.
Okay.
Sound dumb. I never.
Despite her emotional plea, she remained adamant about wanting a moment with her child before any further action was taken.
I'm not gonna get anywhere.
I'm
Just
not
sit down.
I'm not gonna go nowhere.
She wasn't driving.
I wasn't driving. Like, I got witnesses. I wasn't driving. I had nothing to do with it. Y'all call my dad. I've been people who's witnesses. My phone got stolen out of my.
Despite her protestations and attempts to assert her innocence, the woman continues to insist that she did not drive and pleads with her father for assistance. She adamantly claims that her foot is broken, emphasizing this fact to the officers repeatedly. Despite her emotional state and requests for a lie detector test to prove her innocence, the situation escalates as she becomes increasingly agitated.
Can I look you in your face and tell my kid? Baby, can you watch my kid?
Get up.
Her daddy's on his way.
No, baby.
Her father attempts to calm her down and manages the situation, urging her to cooperate with the officers and reassuring her that he will handle the situation.
Oh, my baby in the car. I'm not getting in the car.
Down. You're gonna get in the car.
I want my.
The woman faced charges for assaulting a law enforcement officer and resisting arrest without using force.
Baby, to make sure she's in the car.
We ain't leaving till your dad gets here.
I can get myself in the car. Okay, move.
Your daddy's coming. I called it. You would have chilled out and stayed in the freaking car.
After 6 months of participation in a pre-trial intervention program, the state attorney decided to defer prosecution. All right, fellas, what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting and educational contents in the future. Thanks for your support.